All right. So last time we checked in here, we just finished member 1 statement. So now we're going to look at parts of member 2 statement and the rest of the article, okay? So let's see. Let's go through a bit. As I originally intended to keep this information to myself for the rest of my life, I would like to ensure my right to privacy is respected. Knowing Caleb's behavior towards the youth has only deteriorated over the years, I feel the need to share the story. He keeps saying the youth. They keep saying the youth. How young? Was he trying to get all of these like barely legal girls to do like sex work for him? This is so gross. I'm sorry. It's nasty. Remember, like he's 40 at the time. 40! I feel the need to share my story in order to provide insight into how these issues with Caleb evolved over time. In September 2017, I was 22 years old, found out about SYNA. Is this? I'm not sure what this is. They're a mutual friend. My personal experience, I was interested in history. It led me to the group that prides itself on intellectual discourse, Lamau, and education, and educating ourselves and others about human rights that we deserve. He was 29, my bad. We all noticed that Caleb was an unofficial leader of the group. He was 29 at the time. Oh, he's mid-30s, my bad. He's coming up on 40. Still, too old to, no matter what, it's still too old to be doing this, okay? Anyways, Listen and I helped to organize events related to labor history, workers' rights, and some of our members did food drives and laundry drives. No, Caleb found himself to be the leader. He was 29 at the time, and had consistent income. Well, apparently this is a massive surprise to people, and was willing to spend his income on event space, whereas we were younger without the ability to spend much of our incomes. Event and space organization. Caleb was the de facto leader, and so we all kind of listened to him. All decisions would need his approval. And why? So like my question is like, how did you all who like pride yourselves on being like socialist and communist and everything? Well, actually, I was about to say like, how do you guys like who pride yourselves on being leftist fall so neatly into like an authoritarian hierarchy? Like instantly, just like at the drop of a hat, you all just step into line. But then I remember all of these people stand like Russia and China command economies and like dictators and shit. So I forgot that these are just conservatives at the end of the day. So of course they would, the first thing that they would want to do was fall in line and find the one person who was who talked the most amount of shit and who had the most amount of money. And then obviously they're the leader because they have the most amount of money and they're the oldest. All right, nice one. You're literally red fash. Anyone who made the decisions regarding activism without his knowledge or approval could face his judgment, criticism, and gossip. Oh, yikes. What the fuck? He was already retaliating against people instantly? When I got a side job, it was teaching in 2018. Apparently all these chicks teach. Caleb began to mention his rough childhood to me more often. Good lord. Oh no. Oh, here it comes. During one-on-one conversations, he would mention all the stories, all tying back to these main points. He would find it hard to make friends. He was bullied badly, and he was physically abused growing up. Caleb spoke more often about being spanked at school, and he would finally make it clear that he gets sexual gratification from being spanked now as an adult, and sees a dominatrix twice a month with his wife's permission. I don't want to kink shame, but like, that's a lot of money to be spending on a dominatrix, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like when you have to start to budget out the like sexual shit that you do like per month, I don't know. It starts to feel like it's starting to become like too much. You know, like when you're making your like monthly budget for what you're going to be spending, and you're like, you know, groceries 300, dominatrix 1,500. It's just like, what the hell? But okay, that's just me. Twice a month with his wife's permission. See, so here's the wild thing, okay? Once again, because we talk about this every now and again, I don't think the problem here necessarily major bag alert. Here, listen, I don't think the problem necessarily is having the dominatrix, the dommy mommy or whatever, to get your balls slapped and used as a speed bag for 30 minutes a day, like twice a month, okay, and with the mistress's approval. It's just like nobody needs to know about that shit. You know what I mean? The weird part isn't having it and doing it. The weird part is like randomly telling people about it, okay? Because there's some things that I do in my private life I do not tell you about. Not because I hate you, but because there's no reason for you to know, and there's no reason for me to say it, you know? Like, there's lots of stuff that we all should be doing that nobody shouldn't really please tell. No, T, you're not even a sub anymore, so... Shark confirms spending 65% of the money on Dommy Mommy time. No, but I do spend like half of the money, actually more than half of the money I make a month going to my greedy, lazy editors. All right. So, and they're women. So I do spend most of my money a month on women, you know, so take it however you want. Anyways, I thought it's kind of strange that Caleb was telling me this, but I figured he was trying to be friendly and jovial. I see, like, I don't know. So, okay, here's my advice for you guys, okay? Here's my advice. Okay, groomer. Yeah, like, this is peak groomer technology. This is literally grooming. I know, like, conservatives have try to destroy what the word grooming means, but I want everybody to be completely clear that this is literally actually the definition of what grooming is. This is actual grooming, okay? But I wanted to let you guys know, don't feel bad about telling someone not to tell you something, okay? When you have like a friend, or you have like an acquaintance or somebody that you know, and they start like telling you shit that you didn't want to hear, there's no problem in you saying, calm down. I appreciate you telling me, but I don't think I need this information. Can you please stop? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Don't just like listen to people just people talk at you when you really don't want to hear what they gotta say. Cause then you get into shit like this, all right? And it does not feel good. It is not good, I promise you this. The way some friends do talk about sex, I never talk about sex with my friends. That's so wild. What? Plus he mentioned how much of a struggle it was for him to make friends. It was weird, and I thought our political professional relationship was just fine. I kept defaulting to having empathy for his rough situation. Dude, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. This is not good. This is bad. No, you can stand up for yourself while also being respectful. Just say I don't need to see that. I don't need to listen to that shit. I don't need to listen to that shit. Another thing that Caleb mentioned to me at some point in 2018 was that he would ask women if they ever been spanked as a child and link the talk to women about their experiences and share his childhood spanking memories. Good Lord, this man has issues. Most normal tanky behavior. Most normal tanky behavior. This is just like, holy, Freud was right. I mean, he did pay member one who made their statement. He did pay that woman to pretend to be his dad, who like punished him with hard spanking when he got home. Very weird stuff. Anyways, Caleb told me that he knows this is bad, but he would take what they shared with him and masturbate about it when being spanked. Good Lord. It's just disgusting. Not them being spanked in a child, but he would masturbate to the whole idea of them expressing feelings on. Nah, dude, don't stop. Okay, listen, I know some of them don't want to be like super like crazy towards Caleb, but asking people to like massage like memories of them being like physically reprimanded and abused as children and then like masturbating to it later, that's pedo shit. Can we be honest? Can we be a little honest with something and say that that's pedo shit? Okay, you're coming up on being a PDF file, all right? And then remember that linking this with him talking to his wife about the people in his political organization and calling them kids. Curious stuff. Curious stuff. I was shocked and disgusted that he told me this. Wow, finally somebody with a good reaction. The shocked and disgusted. That's the only real reaction you should have, honestly. I was still an active member of his organization. I never knew how to ask him to stop bringing up his fetish without there being any sort of consequences. If you find yourself in this position, I want you to understand that you are in a position where like HR is like needed. Okay. If this is happening to you at work, this is like a human resources thing that you need to work on. And if this is happening outside of a professional situation, you need to reach out to somebody and ask them about this and to get their help with you getting out of the situation. Because you suffering or dealing with the sexual like harassment, because remind you, this is sexual harassment. Okay. I don't want anybody to mince words on this. Caleb Maupin knows for a fact that he's engaging in sexual harassment with many random people and then does it anyways. Yeah, go to your local labor board if your HR doesn't help. Because remember, HR still works for the company and HR... Trump! Anyways, HR still works for the company and HR cares more about the company's well-being than yours. So you may need to take it up with the city board. And the labor board more than anything else. Also wanted to maintain empathy for him consistently bashing himself for being socially awkward. Additionally, everyone, see, here's the thing, right? So here's my thing, okay? Do I have any people who are bad at social interactions? Do I have any people who get anxiety because they don't know if they're like being annoying or something, right? Or if what they did was that too far or something? Yeah, I'm not just mind you, I'm not using the word autistic because I don't know how like autism affects everyone. I don't even know what that shit is, honestly. And at the moment, I don't really care. But with that being said, okay. And if you have friends who are like this, tell them. Let them know. Okay? Let them know. Tell them. This is like letting it's like when you meet up with a friend and you're going out and you notice that their outfit is like messed up or like there's like food stuck between their teeth or something, or like their skin is like more dry than it should be and it like looks bad or something, or their hair is messed up, or their, like I said, their outfit's messed up, or something. Tell them. Don't let your friends or people go around without understanding that something's wrong when they should know, right? Sometimes it's better to know. I would be more than happy for my friend to be like, hey, yo, dude, like there's like a hole in your pants here, or like something like along those lines, to be like, help me, because some things I don't see. It happens. So the ashy motherfucker to get some lotion, give them lotion, if you have it, especially. If your boy ashy, go give them some lotion, because honestly, a lot of the time, sometimes they even would know, but they're too scared to ask. Be that, and if you are that person, ask sometimes. You can easily work in, hey, and it's not the sort of like creepy or like thing where you have to ask every single time that you do something. You can set up like the ground rules for discussions that you have with people. Be like, hey, I'm not the best at picking up when I could possibly be doing something wrong. I'm not the best at like social interactions. If I go too far, or you need to, or you want to mention something, don't feel bad. Just let me know. I'd love the input. Okay. And if you would like, I'd do the same for you. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay. And they'll be able to keep that in mind. And now if you are actually being annoying, they could be like, yo, you're being a little annoying here, or yo, you can just like tone it down just a tiny bit, and you'll be like, thanks for letting me know, and you can move on. So, but with this type of situation, this doesn't like that's just for you. This doesn't pertain to Caleb, because Caleb knows what he's doing, and he enjoys the abuse. So this wouldn't work for him, because he would just reprimand this person because like he knows what he's doing. Can confirm I prefer being told. Yeah. Everyone in the group who knew Caleb knows that he creates gossip between comrades. Why didn't you like cut him for this? And will privately tell one comrade a lot of nasty, untrue things about another. Why do you keep this person around? Oh my gosh, oh geez, he made fun of BreadTube for this shit, but this is just him. Holy crap, his entire book was just a projection. With the way he made gossip around other people's about not giving their approval. We hardly ever spoke about Caleb outside of his earshot. We certainly didn't dislike each other, but he would tell us generally unsavory things about each other that we would just shrug off. For example, he would tell us that one of the members was very spoiled and would supposedly be a whiny baby that lives off money of their parents. This was an 18, 20-year-old member at the time. All right. Sure, 18 to 20 it's perfectly fine to live off your parents when you're 18 to 20. You're still a baby, okay? You're still baby. Then when there were two members where then there were two other members Caleb had negative gossip about. They're asking me if they think they're gay on multiple occasions. And Caleb would specifically point out things that they would do that would make them seem gay. So these were not inherently bad traits at all in these people, but would just had this a mutual understanding that speaking about each other or doing things without Caleb is a waste of time, since he planted negative ideas about each other in our heads. So yeah, this is horrendous. This is like setting the groundwork for like a lot of abuse. I'm 22, still living with my parents. Yeah, you are a baby, so it be that way. Where were we? Where the fuck even were we? Okay, wait. We got finished talking about how Caleb Maupin tries to out like supposedly gay members. I told you guys that back when I worked at McDonald's, they thought that I was like gay or bi or something, right? I told you all about that. They thought I was gay, mostly because they thought that I had a fat ass, and so fat ass apparent. I was like nice. I smiled. They thought I had like a fat ass or something, which I didn't. Somebody told me that apparently my coworkers were talking about it behind my back, which was definitely an odd meme for me since I just worked at McDonald's, really. And they thought I was gay because I was nice. I asked specifically, I was like, what made you think that? Cause I like came in with my girlfriend and they were like, you have a girlfriend? We thought you were gay. I'm like, what do you mean you thought it was gay? What made you think that? And when they said that, all they responded with is, you come in and you smile at us and you're nice. And I'm like, are straight men not nice? Is it illegal? Is it illegal for straight guys to be nice? But apparently. But you are bi? Whoa! You don't know that. What, have you seen my dick or something? Or does it look like a bi guy's dick? Fuck you. Man smiling with a fat ass, feminine trait. It's just that I have like just wider hips. It's just like it just runs in my family that we just have wider hips. It's just like there's nothing I can really do about it. It just kind of be that way. It does mean that I'm good at deadlifting though. And I am quite good at deadlifting because that requires your legs and your core. And so my deadlift is something that cannot be matched by many other Dorito shaped boys. Anyways, homophobia. So this contributed to my fear of telling him to knock it off with the sexual conversations and sexual oversharing. I didn't want to get kicked out or to have any drama be created or that could tarnish my image. Yeah, once again, like, please, if you're in like a social group and you see people doing this stuff, like, what like I don't know, you all like kind of I'm not blaming these people, but like remember your socialist and like leftist teaching, okay? Like if one person is abusing you, you have the power of many to come together to like fight against that. Don't let one person just rule you, especially if you know that they're bad. And once again, stop like putting somebody on a pedestal as being like the big leader or something. All right. Stop it. Between February and April 2019, Caleb began mentioning the idea of social media coach. Caleb started to increase how often he would bring up he wanted to find a woman who would teach him throughout the week and check on him to make sure to shame and admonish him if he wasn't reaching the goals of growing his following online. Good Lord. I need a dommy mommy who will call me a bad boy for not getting enough followers this week. What? This is dominatrix with extra step. How many women did he want to pay to abuse him? How many? What the heck? He has like he has the dominatrix who goes to the gym, who while he's on the treadmill, she manually sets it to like 6 miles per hour, and he's like, and when he starts to like get lower down on the treadmill, she's like, "You're running too slow, boy," and then she whips him and she goes, "Yeah, run faster, yeah." He's like, "Yes, mommy." Like, goodness, if he's not eating the right amount of like micronutrients, he gets like smacked over the head. He gets like, he has a woman to pay to pretend to be his dad who spanks him in the balls, and now like a social media coach who like beats him if he doesn't get enough like subscribers on his YouTube channel. Like, good Lord, you need therapy. Stop paying all these women to beat you and start paying for a therapist to fix you. Okay? Goodness. Jeez. Oh man. Then the idea of social media coach would meet up with him and spank him on the rear end at the end of the week, which he would pay for. I kept once again trying to try deflecting measures. I would tell him to check an app called Seeking Arrangements where he would be able to create a profile. Oh no, don't play into it to tell him to like do that. Then he's gonna think he can go to you for like advice. It's sexual financial agreements. I wasn't exactly uncomfortable yet because I knew I could reject any advance. But honestly, I was starting to get annoying. It was starting to get annoying. And if he wanted to, if he wanted to fix his fix so bad, he needed to just go somewhere and find it and stop talking to me about it all the time. Man, he's getting like free sexual labor out of these poor women who are just trying to like become a socialism. That's so sad. What the hell? What the hell? Goodness. My thing is like, this person is saying that they didn't feel uncomfortable yet, even though earlier they said that he was like literally sexually like harassing and abusing people, and they say that was disgusting. But did they like compartmentalize the disgusting part? I thought this would add on to it, that would make you uncomfortable speaking to him already. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on in this person's head. Yeah, that's the worst type of perv, right? At least because we all know furries, all right? Furries and foot guys. Once again, if we have any furries in chat, I am putting you in the same boat as foot guys as well. I'm sorry. Furries and foot lovers, okay? You can say whatever you want about the furries and the foot lovers, but what you can't say is that they're cheap, all right? Both furries and toe lovers, both of them shell out massive money to get what they want. And damn, what the fuck? You can't, I'm frankly offended. You shouldn't be. How are you offended? You're really not that different. You and them, they're really not that different at the end of the day. Okay? You may not like it, but the truth of the matter is you're way closer to being the same than you are different. Okay? Both furries and foot guys are shameless. Completely shameless. All right? 100% shameless, and they also shell out massive amounts of money to get the sort of like sexual shit that they want, and they're not cheap. All right, the worst type of person is the person who is unabashedly cringe. I'm gonna come. Trump. Unabashedly cringe, abusive, and on top of that cheap. So it's very sad. If you're gonna compare furries to foot people, at least compare furries who are obsessed with paws to foot people. Oh, nah. When furries like go shopping at Walmart in their fursuits, nah, I'm sorry. What can I say? It's literally just the same exact thing. Furries are typically nicer and they pay more. Like I said. Furries typically aren't like bad people. I wouldn't say that like foot people are also like necessarily bad people. They have no chill. Furries also have no chill. If you're an artist, draw fur. Yeah, furries also love like nudging people in the direction of drawing their furry porn for them. So once again, you're closer to foot people than you may imagine, or you may want to. You know what it's like When I said this, it's the same. Furries got all the furries in chat. It's that meme where Spider-Man, where the Green Goblin was talking to Spider-Man, and he's like, "You and I, we're not so different." You and I, we're not so different, Spider-Man. And they're like, "No, we're not the same at all." It's true though. It's true. I'm sorry. Anyways. I could always reject him. Honestly, I was starting to feel annoying and I didn't want to talk to it all the time, considering the fact that I was a member of the SINA. Let's call it SINA. And therefore, the first and foremost, comrade and activist. Again, Caleb was simultaneously trying to make me their special friend as well as a hardworking member. I felt empathy for what he was going through. I was worried if I would clearly tell him to stop talking about his fantasies. And he just needed a prostitute, I wouldn't be a member anymore, which is horrendous. Wait, this is all in Twitter DMs? Wait a second, is this going on Twitter DMs? Or is this like is this iMessenger? Do I have any iPhone using frogs? Is this iMessenger? Because I have an Android, so I have no clue. This is Instagram DMs. Oh yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's probably Instagram DMs, you're right. Thank you, I appreciate you. I haven't texted in Instagram in a while. I don't like slide into e-girls DMs anymore, so I kind of forgot. Good lord, ew. Something bottom until it's rezzed and bruised doesn't arouse you, so you won't do it with a passion. What the fuck? Right. I know there are things too, like financial domination stuff, but yeah, I'm not passionate about it. So in the end, I feel like it'd be wasting your time and money. I would go through a lot of effort to make something that make me feel gross, because I imagine sorry, I lost my train of thought. Imagine most clients are not young or attractive. My old roommate, blank, she seemed interested in some of this. I'm going to casually bring up some social media discipline thing when I see her next week. No, not directly ask her, but bring it up. See how she replies. Goodness. Somebody needs to stop this man. He has to be stopped. He's a pay pig too. He has to be stopped. Also, this should be, just stop replying. I beg of you, person, please stop replying. See how she reacts? Yeah, nothing to lose. No, don't tell him nothing to lose. No, no, not nothing to lose. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Oh, this is Facebook Messenger. I see. I can't do that for you, just so you know, only because you have mentioned it to me. Lol, I wasn't propositioning you. Don't worry, we are comrades. I don't bring this stuff into politics. I don't bring my my spanking fetish into politics. Instantly bring spanking fetish into politics. He said he was talking about it to a roommate. He was interested in being like a social media coach. My response was them, you know, information to take the chance or whatever. I would never be interested in engaging in acts of prostitution for Caleb. To me, I believe it's hoping to do the exact thing in hopes that she responds with the idea in a positive way. In April 2017, it ended nicely with him apologizing and complimenting my contributions to SINA and how I would be carrying myself in my day-to-day life, heavily complimenting my personal, financial, and career successes. As a side note, I was doing very well and I was working very hard. Okay, Caleb has chosen, sorry. This is important for me to mention due to the way Caleb has chosen to slander my image and reputation to other comrades. The conversation on April 17th, 2019 was the first and final time I had ever made it clear that I had been uninterested in any prostitution or sexual involvement with Caleb. Holy, he's just trying to turn this entire thing into a sex cult. Don't worry, I don't bring up my sex pesting into politics. Our conversations between the 17th onward then did focus on more politics, but he would still mention his sexual things to me, like messaging me on the 22nd, a mere days later, that he's getting ready to meet his dominatrix to get spanked. I hate it. I'm going to vomit. I am going to become vomit. You keep your woke sexting out of my politics. I ignored the comment and continued trying to keep our conversations intellectual. Oh no, man. It seemed like this guy's just thinking with his dick or with his ass, I guess. Around the same time, there were offers to go on all expense paid trip to Venezuela to promote friendship between America and Venezuela. I'm not sure necessarily if this is, I mean, whatever, I guess. It's kind of like a mission trip. And the protest against Juan Guaido's presidency, paid for by the Venezuelan political groups. It sounded like an alluring offer since it was all expense paid. The relationships between America and Venezuela were particularly tense in 2019 due to Guaido's insertion as the president of Venezuela. At that time, the Venezuelan officials made threats to shut off the power to the U.S. embassy. Okay, I'm not sure if and see why I should be pressured to go on this free trip to Venezuela and protest against Guaido, therefore protesting against America and the risk consequences during my time upon my return to America. This idea seemed very risky and out of touch for Caleb to be suggesting. Usually our activism was within New York City and America, and Caleb... Oh! Yeah, fine. Well, what are we, like 90% of the way or like 80% of the way through this statement, and they're just now defining what SYNA meant? Well, thank you. We now know. And Caleb was like students and youth for a new America. Thank you. It was usually the first time to speak loudly about us making sure that we behave cordial and safe outside, online, for example, making sure that we never talk about guns or promoting violence. Scroll bar wasn't even halfway. Shh. Oh, I'm talking about the entirety of this statement, not like of the whole article. It's weird that they offered to like bring me to Venezuela, it seems. Caleb's insistence that I go to Venezuela to condemn America came to a head on May 1st, 2019, where at 1 a.m. he sent me a message asking why I and other SINA members don't have as much drive as him. He explained that he is so accomplished and has done so many risky political acts through his life, and he now has a comfortable job, which is why he couldn't go to Venezuela, but it was really disappointing that none of us would go. In my head, this is such a joke. He stated that he can't go to Venezuela because he currently has a comfortable job and that he wants all of us to drop whatever we're doing and go. In such a tense political climate during 2019, I told him that I had to wake up early in the morning for work and that he needs to leave me alone. Oh, standing up for yourself. You love to see it. Write articles and travel the world and be a big communist revolutionary leader. And the whole world has done everything to block me from doing that. I sold my blood plasma. I got mistreated for years in WWP. Holy crap, he was in the World Wrestling Foundation. Holy crap. What the heck? WWP? That shit's crazy. He was in wrestling? Communist wrestling? Anyways, and now I have a nice, comfortable job. I'm well known, comparatively speaking. I don't get it. Here, I'm practically begging people to do what I've fought to do my entire life. The door is wide open, and people don't want it. Why did I have to fight so hard? What other people don't even care enough to do? Well, this is insanity to me. You got World of Wrestling penetration? Oh my gosh. He slipped in his dominatrix shit once again. Once again. Hey. Sign me up. Stop it. You are not getting all you know what? I am the leader of this cult now. Okay? Wait a second. Where's my All right, I'm the leader of this cult now. And I'm taking charge, okay? It seems like not all of the cult members have their own personal well-being in mind. So it's time for me to set down some ground rules, okay? None of you are spending half of your paychecks a month on dominatrix ball punching, okay? None of you are going to be spending 1/3 of your income per month on cock and ball torture. Okay. You're not getting signed up to the World Wrestling Penetration. It's not happening. Okay. We're all gonna eat grassy gruel today, and we're gonna be happy. I'm sick and tired of this. Without the cock and ball torture, it's just sad. No, you'll be okay without the cock and ball torture. It's not happening. You'll be fine. Why won't you go? Why won't you go to Venezuela for me? Why won't you all drop your entire lives and do whatever I want? It's not an issue of apologizing. You did not do anything wrong. You just aren't like me. You aren't like me. I know I don't do anything wrong. Okay then. Why do you people hate me? Is that what he said? Is he saying, why do you people hate me? Where are people like me? Oh, where are people like me? What? He's so fucking annoying. Holy shit. This man's like as old as probably maybe even older than like the Quartering, but he's like even more cringe. If anybody knows Caleb, you know that he is extremely persistent, pushy, and wants to isolate you. And for you to take huge risks for your employment and family relationships to show your devotion and commitment to the group. And he sends text message essays and why you're wrong and bad. 30 minutes after I told him to leave me alone and let me sleep, my phone started buzzing with his incoming text. Rapid fire. I'm sure the next 2 hours back and forth, an argument where he tried to he tried out every manipulation tactic to try to get me to tell me what's wrong with going to Venezuela, and added in my new argument components. Sorry. And adding in new argument components, such as accusing me of being one of the initial one who initiated the argument. Ooh, gaslighting, my favorite. Claiming that I did feel superior to him. Let's just read some of it. That you don't think you'll be able to call the US embassy. You'll never understood what Sina is about. And if you're scared of being put on a list, you really should stay the fuck away from me. Be careful, girl. Stay away from me. Yeah, you don't know how dangerous I am. Look, listen, dog. It's at this moment in time, the only list that I'm seeing that you may need to be on is the sex offender registry. Okay, that's the real list. Can we chat? What do you think? Type 1 in chat if you agree. Type 2 in chat if you don't. Because honestly, I'm starting to feel like that's the real list that this guy needs to be on. If I'm gonna be honest. It's just what the hell? It's pathetic after all the time and money I've contributed to Sina that you choose to attack me. It's not an attack on you. You have lulled me into thinking you're someone I can whine to about my problems with. You gained my trust. You got me to open up to you. Oh, well, you included your problems, which I don't support. You included me in your problems that I don't support. So I was opening up. Oh my gosh. Hey, so I bombarded you with super creepy dominatrix with cock and ball torture fantasies. It's very odd that you didn't instantly kill me the second I did that, huh? Why are you abusing me? 2 hour conversation kept going. Also the point where he said he owed me $150. Also at the point, he owed me $157, which I had spotted him because he was always running out of money. Holy crap! He literally is using all of his money on dominatrix cock and ball torture. He actually needed to ask his he's going to extort tithes for this shit. It's insanity. I didn't want to be blocked by him before getting my $157 back. You know what? You go. I feel you. I'm right there with you, okay? Sure, I can get blocked by this loser, but I want my like almost $200 back. I also was nervous to silence or turn off my phone because of how dramatically he twists stories about people. I felt like I wanted his argument to remain between only Caleb and I that evening. and hopefully I would be able to get it resolved. I was afraid if I cut off our argument and go to sleep, that he would be using it against me sometime later with like other people. Interesting. Our argument goes in circles with me resisting all of his manipulous attempts and him baiting me to try to criticize him or call him names until 3 a.m. After this May 1st argument, I started a PDF file. Oh, a PDF file about screenshots between Caleb and Sina Facebook group messenger chat. The PDF file, we've heard about that before, a PDF file. PDF file contained the entire 2-hour text argument because I know Caleb creates drama and makes lies to suit himself. So I included the entire argument so no one could ever accuse me of posting things out of context. They took things from the chat. I told everyone about how Caleb speaks to me personally. I really didn't want to be treated this way at the time. No one had my back. Really? Everyone left you out to dry? No one cared to reach out? And Caleb kicked me out of the group chat and told me that sharing screenshots of our personal conversation was wrong to do. And he once again accused me of luring him into trusting him. Holy crap. Everyone just... Wait a second. Nobody brought that part up, how everybody just left this person out to dry when they provided actual screenshots of them being abused by their god emperor. Holy. And then he used the opportunity to kick them out of the group. No one had my back. So I betrayed him by providing the PDF file argument. The PDF of the argument. Everyone in the chat was super confused about what the PDF even meant. What? Are they stupid? I'm sorry. Listen, I understand you, but like, are you stupid? What? How do you read those messages and go, what? What's this even about? What do you mean? What's it about? Hello? Well, they are following Caleb Maupin, so. But I need to not make fun of these people, okay? They're suffering. They are actually suffering. It's a little bit, I pretend I do not see it. It must have been the wind, but I'm just saying, like, it's, I don't know, like, maybe they like came out and were like, we're sorry that we didn't like take you seriously, but man, I feel like that has to be like a lot of information for you to just like brush off and be like, what? They were right to be confused. It happened out of nowhere at 1 a.m. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if I agree with that. It looks so weird why Caleb was doing this to me out of nowhere and being upset for me for not going to Venezuela. Got no response from anyone in the Sina group chat. This is when I realized that everyone in the group chat currently was in denial and is a victim themselves. Good Lord. I want to punch Caleb, but I'm too afraid he would like it. That's true. All femme-presenting people, do not say that you want to, I promise you, okay? Do not say that you want to hit Caleb or something, because he'll jerk off to it later that night. I promise you. Keep your distance, all right? That shit's disgusting. He's a bad person. He's a bad person. I don't like it. I'm trying to keep you all safe, all right? We love our femmes. We love our femmes. I was removed from the chats. And since Caleb was the ringleader of everything, it was impossible for me to be able to come to other events and continue to help like I used to. Honestly, seems like a golden ticket, if I'm going to be honest. Caleb was ignoring me. I felt hopeless and useless for anything else that was going on at Sina. I feel like on April 17th, 2019 is when I shot down the notion of ever prostituting myself out for Caleb. Wait, does this person turn into like a sex worker for Caleb Maupin too? And the strange argument over false pretenses to try to rile me up and get me pushed out. Turns out that after I got removed, he came up with lies to discredit me. Other Sina members were confused why I wasn't in the group anymore. And I was helpful and respected everyone and was happy with my contributions as a member. Caleb created disparaging remarks that I couldn't be a part of Sina anymore and could no longer attend functions because I was supposed to be an alcoholic all of a sudden. Holy. Caleb would keep gossiping about other members, saying that they were secretly gay or that they were spoiled. This is how I want to mention earlier in the statement. In 2019, I had a great job. In our final argument, Caleb was the one who still owed me money. I found out in 2022 that Caleb told a different CPI members and Sina members different slanderous versions of about me, and he told people that I quit Sina because I was an alcoholic again. Wow, damn, this is a horrible fucking person. I never had a drinking problem when I was 23. I had fun drinking socially with my friends, but I was not an alcoholic. Okay, we're going to skim forward a little bit. I and other Sina members 100% believe that this was a slanderous, liable tactic to try to detach me and the fact that I turned down money for sex for him. I think Caleb was devoted far too much of his time talking about his sex life and gossiping and slandering other comrades. To me, it's very concerning. And I was partially silent in 2019 until now because I was hoping that Caleb would just get the help he needs, and I never wanted to cancel Caleb or anyone. This is so cringe, dude, that Caleb and other people like him have pushed this idea of like how the woke left is so bad. Remember, okay, when 90% of the people who complain really hard about the woke left while they're in a position of power, what they mean is that they don't want to be held responsible for like abusing people who work under them. Okay, that's what all of this is. All right, this idea that like, oh, I don't want to cancel people, and everybody in every single fucking like call out posts when they get like physically, sexually, or emotionally abused have to say, but this isn't a cancel post. That shit is cringe as fuck. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that like being roped into this ideology, I really don't want to cancel this sexual abuser. Like, what the hell? That's what we're worrying about is cancellation, the cancel culture. When somebody is sending people out to do political panhandling and then stealing money from them and then using it on like cock and ball torture. I hate this shit. And those newer members who were his 19-year-old began to get favored by Caleb. Oh no, he likes the younger ones. Innocent person might not be getting asked questions if they've ever been spanked. And this member vaguely mentioned stressful moments in their parents during group meetings, which scared me to wonder if Caleb would make the connection to this and the spanking domination fetish. Holy shit, this person was trying to save this poor little person. Holy. Came into the group, talked about how they had family issues. Caleb's like, fresh meat. This member I was speaking of is member 2. Oh no. Oh no. I was afraid of being accused of making false accusations or starting drama. If I was, man, leftist spaces do be shitty as fuck, don't they? The true extent of the exploitation and prostitution that Caleb had put this young member and innocent person through. Caleb ended up prostituting this person out while they were homeless, and Caleb told them repeatedly not to get a regular day job. I urge all young people in CPI to question everything and everyone. Do your due diligence. Don't naively trust people just because they call themselves an activist or a comrade. Do not be afraid to question Caleb's credentials. Does Caleb have experience in accounting, nonprofit accounting, or positive youth development? Caleb keeps working around young people and has taken precautions to create strict boundaries with minors and young adults. He has been formally trained in how to work with high school and college freshman age students. What? Oh, my bad. Has he taken precautions to create strict boundaries with minors and young adults? And has he been formally trained to work with young people? It seemed like the answer is no. Remember, they had like a house, right? They had the JBV house. Remember that? So like they had a house that he was like having a bunch of these people like live out of. Man, all of these people who make like little sex cults all love the disconnect people from their families and move them into my basement shit, don't they? So we have the JBV house, who he moved this person who he started to sex traffic into, and a bunch of all the smaller members who we had pay for this, that, and the third. Good Lord. Yeah, like Jesse Lee Peterson has the boy house that him and like his little stooges live out of, and they all fuck there. Fuentes has his incel boy house and his sussy squad. Good Lord. I was not forced out of SNA because I did not want to be a Caleb's prostitute. I have provided the background and details. Goodness. Keaton Menfield statement. General abusive behavior. Let's take a look at some of the general abusive behavior. We'll skim a little bit more through this one. Under the outreach organization called John Brown Volunteers. Arrived in New York City in the hotel in Jersey City at a bed where Joey Yankee Tanky. Good Lord, these people. Had lived there for several days. Joey quickly and me we got to know each other in the coming months. Caleb knew that we knew each other on a personal level. Caleb would mention wanting to leave his wife and how miserable he was back in Ohio. It is Ohio after all. Looking back, many if not most of the things Caleb expressed to me in private were designed to subtly pit Joey and me against each other. Culminating with the bestowing of the Akik ring. Akik? Is that what this is? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. He gave like loyalty rings to people, right? Caleb, like one thing that he did is he bought and then like distributed out loyalty rings to the most loyal cult members. And so is this it? The bestowing of the Akik ring immediately before going to Texas in December. Caleb wanted both of us vying for his favor in the expense of respecting one another. Caleb saw the Akik ring in Iran. He wears it all the time because it's his symbol of power. After promising Joey and me we would receive one, insisting that he gave only one to me in NYC before I left for Texas. At the time, he told me it was a status symbol that only his most trusted inner circle could wear one like him. Is nobody seeing the cult shit in this? Is nobody seeing the cult shit in this? Was nobody in the situation like this seems a little odd, this seems a little strange that he's bestowing upon people rings? I am Shark. Yeah, but man, these are massive red flags. Yeah, but they're all tanky. So like a lot of them like love the sort of like strongman power shit. It seems. Good Lord. Maybe they didn't see a problem with it at the moment. Therefore, people would notice that they're all wearing the same ring everywhere. I got back to Jersey City. It was awkward when Joey noticed it and that I didn't have an explanation for why I got one and he didn't. I eventually stopped wearing it because I felt disgusted with everything this represented, manipulation of Caleb and everything. All right. When Caleb, Lily, and I were in Nicaragua in November 2021 for the November 2021 elections, why did you go to Nicaragua? Why? What do you get out of the Nicaraguan elections for being there on the ground? Can blame on me and Lily's immaturity and stress how glad he was that his right-hand guy, referring to me, didn't act like Lily. When I arrived in New York, in the city, I put my car in the parking garage. Other members became angry when my car wouldn't start and I had to idle from July until the end of November. Fortunately for Caleb, my mother was willing to co-sign on a dealer loan for another car with the understanding that if this car was being used to transport members of the from New York City to Texas, Maupin would make the car insurance payments every month. Caleb readily agreed to this, excited to send us to San Aglio. Is that like Nicaragua? Or is that Texas? I don't know. However, since December, not a single dime has gone to uphold Caleb's agreement and to make payments on the car. Nice one. What a grifter, dude. At the same time in 2022, Caleb sent me screenshot. Oh, this is where this came from. Screenshots of his argument that he had with his wife, in which you can see that he mentioned his plan to make money off of CPI and he can quit his job at RT. Does he hate? I thought he liked his job as RT. Oh, wait, I forgot. Caleb got his wish. He did get fired for RT, but it seemed like it happened sooner than he would have wanted. He also, He also says blatantly that he's willing to live in a compound in the woods with the kids. So yeah, this is where this came from. You are crazy. Not the fucking iMessenger. Not the fucking iMessenger emote, cray cray. To the idea of living in a compound in the woods with children. Most stable, tanky family life. After driving the car from New York to Texas, Texas to Chicago, Chicago to Kansas, and other trips from the retreat center to the airport an hour away, the car gave out. Nah, did you guys, took such bad care of the car? Why'd the car give out? Really? This, I mean, like, you probably put on like I know for a fact this is less than 100,000 miles, right? A car shouldn't give out like under 100,000. How'd the car give out? Did you not give it an oil change or something? Caleb was praising the CPI's members. He's praising me as one of CPI's most important members. In the last day of the retreat, everyone was preparing to go home, and the transmission gave out, leaving me stranded in Kansas. After telling Caleb about my car, which I put 40,000 miles. 40,000 miles? That's it? In 6 months? And that's it? And the car gave out? What the heck? Where you guys getting your goddamn cars from? Had broken down. His immediate concern was having drivers make airport trips. Caleb had spoke to me about this type of stuff, of what he was doing sexually with a member 2. Oh no, he was he's so brazen. He is like those sexual predators who just love talking about their like prizes with other people. They can't keep it to themselves. Who would make inappropriate comments about him? Wait a second. Member 2 is a guy this entire time? What? Oh, they're trying to keep the... Oh. Ah, okay. They're trying to keep the pronoun secret. Why don't they... Don't we have a word for that? Isn't that just they? Wait, if that's the case, then why did they say... Wait a second. They said like her... This person said her, and they're referring to themselves in this, if I remember correctly. And then the other one was like member 2, and then they didn't give pronouns. And so why is this one... Why is this guy giving... Like mixing up? Why don't you just say they? Or why don't you just keep saying member 2? Sloppy writing? Okay. All right. Don't get mad at me for not understanding. It's the writing then. A little bit of wacky writing going on here. He would make inappropriate comments about what they did. And in December 2021, he admitted that he had hired member 2 for sex work. And the professional dom, he also made some very lewd comments about member 2 to me, including through text. Oh, good Lord. Caleb asked me to sign an NDA. He didn't exactly specify what it was about, but he did give hints. What? Let me. Member 2 is trans. It came up in the Twitter space you were in. Oh, we must have missed it. Let's use they, because let's continue using they. Would you like to sign this NDA? What's it about? It's a secret. Like what? What in the world? NDAs don't work like that. But he did give hints. Caleb said he would give me the rest of the money he owed me after CPI if I used my vehicle, if I signed it. What? Which he owed me prior to the creation of the NDA? What? I asked Caleb if I could read over the NDA to take some time to make the decision. Caleb took this to mean I am playing hardball, and he say that he could do that too. I re-said that the money he owed me was acquired before the NDA was ever created. That's insanity. That's insanity. White Shark thought it was a bait and switched on pronouns. Yeah, we'll just use they. I'm not sure. Some people are saying some people are saying they have trans their gender. Some people are using her. Some people are using he. I think at this point in time, I'll just use they, which people seem to not be using at the moment while reading this. Joey Sanchez, Yankee Tanky, is 27, from Pennsylvania. Discovered that he didn't have a place to live. He goes to the hotel. Caleb told me that he didn't want to pay for a hotel room for just me. At the point, I sold the majority of my possessions and used that for money for the hotel. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why the fuck are you guys giving your lives away for this? What are you doing? What do you do? What's happening? We just started. I thought the selling all of your possessions and moving away from your family was happening after a lot of the grooming shit, but like it's happening before. I guess what I don't know how he well, no, I guess it was 2021, so I guess CPI was already in motion then. I don't know, man. Can't stop them up. I went to New York only to discover he didn't have a place. I would have to go to a hotel. Caleb told me he didn't want to pay for a hotel for just me. I sold all my possessions at the end of the week. I was almost at the end of the week. The week! You had a week's worth of money? It wasn't even like the thing where you move, like, just so you know, if you didn't know, if you actually move or leave jobs or something or you need like an emergency fund, it shouldn't be a week's worth of money. It should be 3 to 6 months worth of money, not a week. What? You're picking up your shit and moving in a week? A week? Even if you know, and this is like the best case scenario, so you know what's going on. The 3 to 6 months is if something goes bad. Oh no. During the time in a motel room, I used food stamps to pay for me and Keaton. I got $250 a month to pay for our food. Later, another individual joined. And food stamps in a motel? Where you sold all your belongings? In a motel? What? Another individual joined us and my food stamps had to pay for that person as well. Caleb often told us that we had to struggle to achieve socialism. Bring back the music. All right, so here it is. We got to keep the music for this one because this is the cult shit. This is insanity, dude. It isn't just me, right? Yeah, that's a new doctrine to unlock. Cult members will be okay living off food stamps for 3 months. He told us that we had to struggle. In hindsight, I see that it was Caleb's attempt to manipulate us into not asking him for a lot of money. I am diabetic and also have MRSA, I'm not sure what that is, which never goes away. So my bad diet is connected to our limited budget, ultimately led to my sugar spiking, which fed into the MRSA, which caused an MRSA infection, which I had to go to the hospital for. The day I went to the hospital, JBV, we're at a political rally in Times Square. Caleb asked me if I could come join. Come join as soon as I left the hospital. The hospital! It's pronounced MRSA. I don't know what that is. It's a flesh-eating super bacteria? That doesn't sound good. That sounds bad, actually. I don't like that. This person has a lot of problems. You should not be putting yourself in a situation where you can go into like, good lord, this poor person. Caleb promised to take care of our food, our housing, and other material needs that we needed. Alas, Caleb failed to provide even the most basic of resources to help us survive. And insisting we use our canvassing contributions to cover everything. Panhandling, once again. However, canvassing was very slow and tedious work, and it never brought in enough income to sustain us all. I often had to dig through the garbage to put out grocery stores just so we could eat. My comrades would even have to live on less because, according to Caleb, this is what revolutionaries had to do to survive. You know how people like make fun of us or something? You know how like these types of people like try to call us liberals or some shit like that when we criticize a bunch of tankies and the stuff that they do, and they're like hardcore, like massive hard on for like the revolution and how they're going to be massive revolutionaries or some shit like that. You know that? This is where this leads. I'm a liberal, apparently, for not believing in digging through the trash to get for diabetic people to dig through the trash and live off food stamps in a Motel 6 for months after they sold their entire belongings and to panhandle under the guise of communism. Crazy stuff, wild stuff. Would also say member 3 would have to tolerate the maltreatment because for the food organization. Eventually, member 3 gave up on arguing against our mistreatment and began working as an escort to help us cover our expenses. There's more than one person who was like who was like forced to turn to sex work for the revolution. What? So we've reached 3 people so far who've been baited into getting into sex work. Nice. Help us cover expenses. I was still using my food stamps to keep us fed, but their additional income took care of everything else. I was able to feed our canvassing efforts. So our feeble canvassing efforts couldn't cover. This is I can't believe this. Later, when we went to Texas and came with the idea of the branch of the CPI, I walked bridges to labor and the goal of building a socialist reading groups within working spaces. Upon Caleb hearing about this project, he would have private conversation with Keaton, telling him that I was trying to steal his spotlight. Oh my gosh. After the argument with Keaton got me kicked out of JBV, Caleb offered to pay for a ticket for me to go back home to Pennsylvania. He never offered to pay me back for my possessions I sold for the organization, including my car. He never offered to provide any type of housing until I could get myself on my feet. He simply abandoned me with $200, either to be homeless in Texas or go back to Pennsylvania. I tried to live out in Texas, and soon realized I couldn't make enough money to get out of the hotel I was staying in, and I would soon be homeless and forced to head back to Pennsylvania. I ultimately, since getting kicked out of the organization, had been living in an abandoned house to survive, forced into e-begging on the internet to sustain myself while having in-between jobs. This has affected my public image and thus affected my ability to make content and organize in the future. Goodness. And this person's diabetic? And has apparently a flesh-eating megabacteria? What? I honestly don't even know what to add to this. Caleb had my undivided attention and confided in me multiple times, and a few other people who he said understood him. He saw such potential in me. Fast forward to 2022, our relationship took a turn for the worst. I was forced to move back to Pennsylvania because of our economic situation brought on by the pandemic. Caleb repeatedly expressed opposition to me remaining with family for an extended period of time. It was weird, and then since I wasn't planning to remain for PA for that long anyways.
Shark.
I was experiencing pits in my mental health, which made me more vulnerable. There were times I was crying to him about how unhappy I was generally in life and with my personal relationships. He wanted me to disappear in the eyes of my friends and family, and job to join the JBV. There's the point where I realized all this was the point to, also the point he wanted to bring up anytime I went home for holidays or long weekends, whenever I went outside of the sphere of influence or control, whenever I would express that there were people in my life I did not intend to drop, he would be visibly upset and continue to urge me to do so. This day was 12 hours of driving in my part with zero compensation besides gas, despite my suggestions to make the trip easier on me. Once I got to the conference site that day, or 2 days early to set up and train to be a moderator and train and a 12-hour drive, I realized that once again, how nefarious a lot of the tactics and methods Caleb were pushing. Each of us were given a few attendees to look after. We were instructed to practice deep listening and would never break eye contact with people we were speaking with. Oh yeah, he was sending people off to be a little cult drones. I especially couldn't, at the time, I did not have any paid time off. And so the trip would be unpaid, especially couldn't afford to be stranded in Nicaragua or Mexico like many other delegations because of specific COVID restrictions wasn't met. COVID did not understand this. COVID. Caleb did not, he might as well be a virus. He's a disease. He's a blight. Did not understand this and argued with me about it for days, to the point where I believe he realized he didn't have any control over me or practical influence over me. Not like when I was 18 or 19 or even 20. What? Yeah, 18. This person was under Caleb's thumb since they were 18. This is actual grooming. Sent him $500 while they were in Nicaragua to fight. I didn't take for refusing to go to Nicaragua. Caleb explained to me that they had raised the money for my ticket. I wonder why he felt entitled to the $500 that didn't come out of his pocket. He called the trip to Venezuela a big FU to him, and he was livid that I didn't notify him or consult him. He said I didn't belong in the group setting and didn't understand what the organization entails. Maybe you should ask yourself why you had a total of 3 friends in your entire post-secondary educational experience. Holy shit! What the hell? I got any people in chat with 3 or less friends? I got any 3 or less friend? We're still on number 2. No, this is another person with 3 or less friends in chat. Listen, your 3 or less friends, they mean the world. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't let him tear you down. Okay. Small circles can be the best circles. Me, I'm lonely. Counting coworkers. If you don't count them as friends, then no, not coworkers if they're not your friends. That he should be a communist rock star. Holy. Once I made it clear that I was not going to be just a manipulable pawn of his, I was dropped gradually from his interest. I believe that this is vision for CPI, to be a loose cult around him. All reading material was written by him and always on sale at every event. I did see that. He would even constantly complain that he was not recognized by the world enough, and he should be a communist rock star. Good. So fucking cringe. Remember, we always talk about how these people are like losers who think of themselves as like being the ones who are going to be the boot or everything. He wrote his own Bible. Yeah, he did write his own like Caleb Maupin special Bible, right? My special commie Bible. Insanity. There's more people. No, they're back into the spanking. It's my feeling that Caleb purposely brought up the story to me in order to test the waters on my reaction to corporal punishment or spanking, or to encourage my discussion of my own experiences. This lines up with information brought up by member 1, given the fact that he admittedly subtly hinted to his sexual fetish. My second concern is the fact that Caleb made it clear that he was the intentions of the direct members into a cultish manner. Many people said that he enjoys reading up about cults, and he would even discuss the history of cults and other live streams. However, observing his direction of CPI has made it obvious that he wants to implement cult tactics within CPI. They talk more about the deep listening, the unbroken eye contact, all this sort of stuff, the chanting. Now, somebody told me that they did also engage in like a form of chanting or something. So is that true? Here, let me see. No, it got deleted. Cringe. No, the thing I wanted to bring up, somebody sent me. It got deleted. Does anybody have any you can see it in the CPI conventions? Or let's see. Wait, there was recently a CPI conference? Wait, Caleb uploaded this 3 days ago? What is this?
All right. Well, next we're going to hear another song from our beloved musician, and then we'll go to the next speaker. So go ahead, Paul.
He got fanny packs. He's got a banjo.
Reminds me of another famous War of Liberation, and I know you know the words to this song. Sing along loudly. Comrade's body is a moldering in the grave. Comrade's body is a moldering in the grave. Comrade's body is a moldering in the grave. I'm sorry. A lot of you sing the less nervous melody, guys. Let's try this again.
I can't watch anymore. Sorry, man. Good. You can't watch anymore? Wow. Wow. What are these bandana? What are these berets? What's happening? It's like 4 days ago. Let's see. Let's go way back and see what we can find. Good Lord. Okay, here's this one. Is this all in your right ear or is it me? Is this me? Wait a second. Nothing I do is performative.
Nothing I do is performative.
Ah, it is me. Okay. It is me. It is my fault. I mess with some of the shit. Yeah, was this some of the chanting? What are they saying? No more vapes? No more vapes. No more vapes. Here to struggle? What?
Of the U.S. bombing of Hiroshima.
Hiroshima?
We start out our events at CP.
Wait.
Repeat after me in the pledge. If this will open for me.
But do you not know the Pledge of Allegiance? You don't know the Pledge of Allegiance by like heart if you're gonna do it?
We pledge that we shall remember this unity.
Oh, my bad. It's their own personal cult pledge. Sorry.
Forged at the end of the Second World War. Not only today, not only this week, this year, but always. Until we have built the world we have dreamed of and fought for. We pledge ourselves to build the unity of the people of the world. All races, all colors, all nationalities, all beliefs. To eliminate all traces of fascism from the earth. To build a deep and sincere international friendship. Among the people of the world. To keep a just, lasting peace.
How long is this? How long is this? What is this like an entire? Is this like a 3.5 essay? What's happening? Amugus. Shortest leftist pledge. All right then.
To eliminate want, frustration, and enforced idleness. To salute shall never more be wasted. Let's please remain standing for.
How long was that? What? What? It's like a 3-minute long pledge? You can't, they don't even remember everything that was happening. Oh, is this the ring here? Is this the pledge ring that Maupin gives to them? So cool. Wait. What was that? Is that perfectly cut screams? What was that? Is someone dying over there? POV, not a cult. POV, 100% not a cult. Oh, man. Like 60% of the stuff they're doing is just chanting. It's the guy. It's him. Cult leader supreme. You know, he wasn't sitting down this whole time because he booty hurt.
To escalate conflict with Russia, a major oil exporter, keeping them off the market and keeping the prices high.
Boo. Here's the ring. Let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. Here's the loyalty ring that Maupin is given to me in December before going to Texas. Now worn upon the one and only CP exec still loyal to Maupin. Oh no. No, dude. The one person who's going to help him rebuild. CP executive. I don't like that. I don't like a CP exec. I must say. Not one bit. Not one bit. Now, we've seen that. Hanging on to this in case Maupin wants to crawl out of the hole he's hiding in. FYI, yeah, I got spanked as a kid. The overwhelming majority of Americans whose parents did not make six figures also did. They still do in the public schools in 19 states. Did you know that? Probably not. Life is pretty scary outside your bubble. What? Can I? CPI, what CPI am doing, what I want to do for a long time. The amateurishness is fading and we're doing something real. It scares some of my long-term associates. They're lashing out at me. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but I'll keep going. Okay. On top of that, I guess, there's one other thing, which is this here, which is Caleb Maupin's personal statement. So apparently Maupin has, so he's deleted all of his social medias except for Skype. Okay. And so he Skyped and this is what he said. A lot of lies about me and what has gone on CPI are being told, but I clearly have made some very big mistakes. So he's not denying what came out. Okay. I need some time away from social media to get the help I need to ensure I never bring any aspects of my sex life into political spaces ever again. I also need to straighten out my personal life and deal with how it's affecting my family. You mean like cheating on and like doing crazy shit with your wife and talking about how you're going to live in the woods with your kids? When I feel I'm ready, I will likely return to social media, but these things take time. I know I will let a lot of people down. It's a process. This is my statement. Feel free to circulate it online. All right. This is your last wish. So I will. What the hell? What the hell is happening? I'm out of my mind. This is insanity. No one can tell me that this is not insanity, right? No, what? And then after all of this came out, after all of this is finished and a lot of the corroborations that happened, we don't have to go through everything, right? We don't have to go through everything, but CPI put this out yesterday as of today. They tweeted this out. As of 3 p.m. CST, the cringest time zone, the executive committee of CPI has unanimously voted to dissolve the organization in its entirety and all operating facets. Just so you know, what they mean by operating facets is that they all have checked out of the motel that they were working in. All right, no, we don't make fun of them. Stop. All right. All due paying members will be canceled. In the next 24 hours, the operation winds down. As individual members move on, we ask to keep in mind that this is one moment in time within the struggle for a better world. Do not let this end be the end of your story. Continue to build revolutionary foundations, blah, 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 blah. Please don't say the word bottom again. Yeah, okay. Disgusting. This is not unique. Some people like to say that this is something special for Caleb, but it's like not, okay? I've heard some people say that, but it's not, all right? It will not. In all organizations where people have the ability to have power over another person, these sorts of things are going to happen. Remember, these things didn't happen simply because Caleb had access to people. These things happened specifically because Caleb had the power over people to be able to extort them in the ways in which he saw fit, okay? CPI is dead. That's a good thing, because I'm not sure if they're going to be able to fix the problems that were so deeply ingrained in like who they are and what they have become. Mental illness has such interesting symptoms. Stop it. Stop it. But this is, good Lord, no. 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 Don't tell me this is real. This can't be a real tweet. Peter Coffin. Some people who call it abuse when Caleb Maupin does kink or has an addiction either is deserving of empathy, spend all day talking about how beautiful their sex thing is. The same people who call for restorative justice simply want to dispose of those with problems. Can I get worst political take you've ever heard for 500? Ding! Woo! What's happening? I'm losing my, this is giga yikes. Giga yikes. It's real? No, please. No, please, it's real. No. This can't be possible. This can't be possible. I'm dying. No. Why does this person make it? Why does it make it their mission to have the worst takes imaginable? What's happening? People used to actually watch this person's content and look up to him. Good Lord. But this isn't any, goodness. Moving on. There isn't anything different from this and what we saw go on when it comes to the abuse with streamers and streamer houses, and Smash tournaments. Okay, when you have the ability to have power over another person, there's going to be people who weren't able to have that access to people or power over people before, that were going to leverage it in some way, shape, or form. And it starts small. So it starts off with small things, right? Like a lot of people mention the continuous thread amount around all of this, which is he kept pushing his like weird sexual kink and sexually harassing people. And then he was able to move that into more and more and more violent stuff and more dangerous things and more abuse for people as things went on. Or when it comes to the lying and not making, keeping up with like promises and the NDAs, it starts small, right? Yeah, these people try to claim that they're socialists, but they are treating other human beings like commodities. It's very odd how it works, right? But this happens with a lot of people, and I want you to be able to look out for it. The reason why we're covering this is not because I just like dunking on people who I disagree with. I do like dunking on people I disagree with. But in this situation in particular, I want to cover this simply because it's important for us to understand and be able to pick apart the pieces of what makes people dangerous and how we get there, okay? Because it could be a lot of people who you may not think of, because you may think that you may be not vulnerable to this, okay? You are not immune to propaganda, all right? You know that old Garfield meme image? You are not immune to propaganda. You are not immune to being in the goddamn right here. Pull it back up, pull it back up. You're not immune. You're not immune to being in the cult, okay? You think that you'd be immune to being in the cult? You're not. You're not immune. Somebody can easily fool you and trick you into throwing your life away for someone. I want you to be wary of this, because it will happen. Sometimes you're lucky to be able to see it and dodge it. Other people aren't so. So try not to look down on them too bad. But remember, sex pests exist. People who want to control you and use you for their own personal gain exist, and you need to be careful and see it when it comes out. Don't be scared to talk to somebody. A lot of these people, what they didn't mention is that they didn't speak to somebody about when they were feeling like things were going awry while they were happening. Don't make the same mistake. If you feel like something's wrong, if you feel like something's falling apart, ask not one person, ask minimum, I would like to say 3 people. if you can. Even if it's somebody you don't know that much, ask if you could like ask them about something if you need some like advice. All right, because even somebody who's not like super smart, even somebody who's not like super knowledgeable about your personal understanding, right? A lot of these things, your personal situation, they may be able to give you a fresh eyes on a situation that you weren't able to see, how you can be taken advantage of. So, all right, I'm just saying that. Take care of yourself, all right, there, partner.